Hello, hello, hello. It is Saturday night. Lot going on today, especially where the NFL is concerned. Today was at the NFL Combine, wide receivers, running backs, and quarterbacks. And man, was it a show. The NFL scheduled this session today correctly. Um, if you thought the cornerbacks were good, had speed, man, the wide receivers were good. And I was so excited earlier. I posted a video and then I put the thumbnail, Jimmy Horn Jr., because Jimmy did that. At the time, LeJounte hadn't finished up yet. So I didn't have anything on him, but I heard he had about the same speed as Jimmy Horn Jr. So let's get into it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So y'all know, typically I start off with an intro, but today my intro is surrounding the combine. And I saw Shedeur. He stayed. Remember, I said I wonder if Shedeur was gonna still be there or Travis was gonna still be there for when LeJounte and Jimmy run. Well, I don't know. I don't think I saw Travis, but I didn't watch the whole thing. They panned to Shedeur after Jimmy ran his second or his first or his second 40-yard dash, and he just was all smiles, diamonds dancing, all smiles. So he was still there. He was still doing interviews and everything. So if I don't know if Travis was there or not, but they panned to Shedeur, so that's how I knew he was there. But the guys did a good job. So let's get into some comments. Like I said, at the time when I was putting all this together, LeJounte was still working out. So most everything I have is about Jimmy. I do have some information about LeJounte, and if y'all have something, feel free to share it in the chat. All right. So I have 3 comments. One of them, I don't know how y'all gonna feel about it, but one of them is a comparison. So let's start with the first one. Hey, how you doing? How are you? Is that Shanithia Hayes? Welcome, 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 welcome. All right. The first one is from Louis Riddick. We talked about Louis Riddick the other day. He was giving his thoughts on Cam Ward. So now he's giving his thoughts after Jimmy Horn Jr.'s workout. What he thought. He said, Jimmy Horn makes everything he does look so easy. He's not lying. When Jimmy Horn did the shuttle, by the way, Jimmy Horn had the best time, the best speed for the shuttle at, I think, 19.1 miles per hour. He came in first. And he made that look so effortless. I saw him catching passes from Quinn Ewers. Jimmy did good. He looked like a pro out there. So he definitely manifested the NFL with that tattoo on his arm because I know he's getting drafted. And I looked, Pittsburgh has the second pick. I mean, the second round pick, number 52. I'm like, and remember, Jimmy was asked to not, play in the Shrine Bowl. The teams he met with at the Shrine Bowl with Indianapolis and the Texans, but we already heard that Pittsburgh was very interested in Jimmy. So they could pick Jimmy with that 52nd pick in the second round. I would not leave him to fall to anybody else. He is fast. He's definitely a 3rd and 8th option. Definitely a slot receiver as he really is. And then also, too, special teams, a punt returner for sure. You definitely want to give Jimmy the ball on punt return. He really did that. And I know his father's proud of him. His mom for sure. But, his dad is probably smiling from ear to ear. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed and Jimmy in our prayers. And on pro day, I think Jimmy ran officially a 4.46. And people were saying, I bet 10-1 when he go to Colorado, he going to end up running like a 4.39. Watch. All right. Let me know your thoughts about that as well. Okay. So this is Jordan Reed. Jordan Reed said, Jimmy Horn Jr. had a terrific workout. It said his twitch and suddenness are outstanding. In addition to his speed, he is the 10th fastest receiver at the combine. His vertical is elite. Jimmy has a 38-inch vertical. That's good. That's really good. And you combine his vertical with his speed, the shuttle which really is in-game speed. So his in-game speed came in at first overall. His 40 was 10th overall, and a 38-inch vertical. You can't ask for better than that. That means he can put it all together. And we know he can because we watched him play. All right. So I think Jimmy could go to Pittsburgh in the second round. Or he could go to somebody, but I think it's going to be mid-second round. We shall see. It could actually be high second round. I have to go back and look where the Texans fall and where Indianapolis falls. It would be nice if he came to Atlanta. Jimmy Horn Jr. and Michael Penix Jr., absolutely. I think it would be good. All right. Now, this is the one. I don't know how y'all going to feel about this one. I'm going to put it on the screen. It's a comparison. A particular sports outlet made this comparison. I typically see this outlet all the time. Some of their articles, I feel like, are in other languages, but this might be global. So let me see if I can find it and put it on the screen, because when y'all see it, y'all might get mad. Then again, you might feel like, you know what? I think that's right. I think that's right. So let's see if I can find it. Let's see. I was like, I could just read it. But sometimes when you see things, they make an impact, and it's good just to sometimes just kind of see things. So let's see if I can find it. How's everybody doing? I hope y'all are having a good day. Y'all were really, really gracious in the comments. I appreciate all the nice things y'all had to say. And of course, I appreciate the reply game. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Coming to the screen. Okay. All right. Here's the comparison. The name of the journalist is at the bottom. It says Jimmy Horn Jr.'s draft stock surges. Now remember, we heard that at the Shrine Bowl, so it's gotten even better. Jimmy Horn Jr.'s draft stock surges among fans after impressing with combine drills. Better receiver than Travis Hunter. True or false? Let's talk about it. I told y'all, this is where everybody gets put together, and you got to pick one. You got to pick one. Overall, it looks like Ashton Jeanty, who, by the way, did not work out, and nobody really talked about it. He didn't work out either. But when they did the scouting, the combine scouting analysis, Ashton Jeanty had the highest score overall out of everybody. Out of everybody. Actually, he was above Travis. I was like, oh, Lord. If some fans of Ashton Jeanty see this, they're going to flip out because, they feel like Ashton Jeanty should have won the Heisman. But we understand why Travis won the Heisman, because he's a dual threat, offense and defense, right? So we get that. But this comparison right here is the first time I've seen a non-Colorado person heard any analyst say out loud that Jimmy Horn Jr. is a better receiver than Travis Hunter. Let's talk about it. Let's check the comments and see who's in there. Hey, Coach Dre. It says, what did he run? Jimmy ran a 4.46. I think his official time was a 4.46 when it was all said and done. Let's see. The first one he ran was a 4.47. I'm looking at it right here. I can't share it because it's copyrighted. He ran a 4.47 on the first one. And then on the second run, he ran a 4.46. So the best wide receiver time was 4.3 by Matthew Golden. And there's a top 10 wide receiver list, and Jimmy Horn Jr. is number 10. Number 10. So his shuttle drills was crazy. Just all of his drills. You were looking at him like, God, he's quick, crisp, efficient, concise, excellent. Excellent. I say he could go top second round. He could go. I feel like sometimes these teams are like, well, Ohio State went to the Natty, Alabama's SEC, Penn State, with Penn State, it's like we got to give them their due. That's how, when I go back and I look historically over the draft, sometimes it does feel like it's rigged a little bit in terms of, okay, I got to get somebody up here in the first round from Alabama. I got to get somebody up here in the first round from whoever won the Natty or went to. I didn't see a lot of Notre Dame people. I got to get Penn State. I got to get Alabama. Penn State and Alabama might both have good players. I don't really know. But the point is, it kind of feels forced a little bit. I'm not saying they don't have good players, but it does kind of feel forced. Just like with the invites, it feels forced to me, when it comes to the SEC has to have the most. Kind of like the quarterback conversation with Jackson Dart. I watched a little bit of that today, and I was looking at how when they were ranking people and talking about this person and that person, sometimes they were specific when it came to certain players, but with Jackson Dart, he's here. Okay. All right. So he feels forced. He's one of those quarterbacks that feels like they're trying to force him. Quinn Ewers, I thought, was kind of good today. They said Will Howard and Dylan Gabriel were very inaccurate. That's what they said. Jalen Milroe has been referred to the number 3 quarterback in the draft. How many times have I said that? How many times have I said that? I have said that so many times. So Jalen Milroe is the number 3 quarterback, but they don't like him because they keep talking about his hand size. But when it comes to Jackson Dart and his profile, he has the biggest hand size out of all the quarterbacks. I'm like, miss me with that. Miss me with that. So I have to go back and look at them now that everybody's finished. But Jimmy Horn Jr. stole the show just like he did at the Shrine Bowl. Coach Dre said, let's see. Okay, Coach Dre put the times in the chat. Let's see. It said Jimmy ran a 4.6 and Wester ran a 4.7. Actually, it said Wester ran a 4.6 too. I was like, oh, okay. Matter of fact, it's in front of me right here. Let me look at it. I don't know. Here it is right here. It says LaJohntay ran a 4.46. A 4.46. I'm sorry if I said 4.6. It said LaJohntay ran a 4.46 in the 40. That must have been his second time, maybe. The 10-yard split, he was 1.53 seconds. His vertical was 32, and his broad jump was 10.1. I didn't see anything on the shuttle for him. That's why I was thinking maybe he was still working out, or they just haven't updated it yet. Let's see here. Peace to the chat. Hey, Kiel. So it looks like Jimmy got the cutoff right at the top 10 speed number 1 for the shuttle. I mean, the gauntlet drill. The gauntlet drill basically tells you the in-game speed. He had the best speed. That's why I'm like, Jimmy is going high in this draft when it comes to, I say high second round. It would not surprise me if one of the teams that asked him not to play at the Shrine Bowl, Pittsburgh has the 21st pick. I don't know who they're going to pick first, but the second pick that they have is 56. I feel like Jimmy going somewhere between there. That's just how I feel. He did so well. That's all people were talking about. In fact, the NFL took his workout and isolated it. I've been watching this all weekend. He's one of the few people that I've seen that has a link that says Jimmy Horn workout, complete workout on NFL channel. I could be wrong. So back to this comparison. It said Jimmy Horn ran a 4. John. If I said 4.6, it's 4.46. I think I might have said it wrong. Let's see. 22. It said, welcome. Noah Travis Hunter is a better receiver. Okay. 22 said he thinks Travis is better. Peter said, Coach Dre, where did you see those numbers? I was watching and Jimmy ran 4.46. Let's see. Coach Dre say it's just the media trying to start mess so they both good. Travis is 1, but Jimmy gonna make some team very good. My boy just has to stay healthy. Yeah, actually they both got to stay healthy. One thing I will say, Jimmy seems locked in. But maybe because Travis didn't work out, we didn't get to see him in that capacity. But just on the side, he didn't really seem like locked in and talking to the other guys. He took a step back, sat down. Maybe he's not feeling good. Jimmy is locked in. And see, that's one of the things I keep telling y'all. When it comes to these players, see, priority is everything. See, sometimes for some of these guys, not all of them, a lot of them want to make it. But for some of them, the NFL is a means to an end. It's not necessarily the priority. And there's a few players out there that went to this combine, they fit that description. In other words, 99% of them are hungry and want to make it, and they're not going to put anything or anyone in front of their NFL opportunity. But there's 1% out there. This is a means to an end. It's not the priority. If you don't believe me, let's see what his class is in 2 years. And see the danger in that. If this is not the priority or a means, it's just a means to an end. Once I satisfy that means to an end, I'm going downslide. Unless I set some goals, like I want to go to the Super Bowl, and I'm like, hey, this got to come first. If this is just a means to an end, it's going to look like that. That's when the switching up starts. Once I get to the NFL, I'm going to start coasting because that was the goal. Whereas for a lot of these guys, when they get to the league, you're going to see them like you see Jalen Hurts and Keon Coleman working out where nobody else really is. You're going to see them being hungry and getting back to where they want to be. And this is the priority, not a byproduct of something else or just a means to an end. I'm telling you, when that happens, people just slide off. It said, I thought Jimmy was a speed guy. That is good. I think that's good. If you saw his shuttle, John, he had the fastest, I keep saying shuttle. He had the fastest gauntlet drill at 19.1 miles per hour, which indicates game speed. And actually, the gauntlet drill is more precise in game speed and an indicator of what a player would do than the traditional 40-yard dash. I'll take that gauntlet drill any day. Jimmy Horn Jr. was first. And Cam Newton called it. You can be fast, but can you put it all together? And that's basically what the comments are saying about Jimmy Horn Jr. Not only can he put it together, he puts it together effortlessly. And he just wowed everybody because it's like they didn't expect that. Coach Dre said, Peter, I forgot the second number. Oh, they're talking about the 4-4. Oh, I thought it was me. I thought I said it incorrectly. I believe Jimmy will run faster at Pro Day. Absolutely. I think he going to end up running like a 4.39 or like a 4.41. But either way, a 38-inch vertical, a 19, the fastest gauntlet speed time. I'm going to start right there. So, yeah, I think everybody's going to shave off a little bit of time when they get to the Pro Day. And that's kind of been proven, which is why people say you should really do the Pro Day. And Ashton Jitsi, he didn't work out, and nobody complained about him, but he didn't work out. He was there. He did interviews. He did really well with the media. Peter said he don't play about his nephews. That is so funny. It said, Peter, yes, Jimmy is my kid for Florida. We got close. Oh, because he came from Gainesville. Okay. Let's see. 22 say, I like Travis Hunter. He is taller and faster, and Travis can catch any ball, whereas Jimmy Horn dropped too many balls, and Jimmy is good, but Travis is great. I just think they're different type of receivers. Jimmy is more of a slot receiver, whereas Travis is like a true wideout, in my opinion. But I could kind of see some of basically what you're saying. But we're going to see because he ain't dropping none today. And we're going to see at Pro Day. That's going to tell you also what you want to know. That's like another look at this situation. Fact, 1%. That's why one question is, do you like football or do you love it? These GMs listen for the truth versus the untruth. Okay. See, I told y'all I'll be hitting on stuff. Thank you, Kiel, for that. There is that 1% out there. I'm telling y'all. And, see, sometimes y'all got to think about this historically. How many really good players came out in the first round? And where are they now? Going back 5 years, going back 10 years. So just because you come out first round does not necessarily guarantee you success. And we're not talking about getting injured. We're not talking about gambling issues. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about drive and passion for the game. Like Coach Prime say, I can't love it for you. You have to love it. Coach Prime say he married to it. That's how much you got to love it. This is the priority. This is what you marry. Gracie say, hey everybody, how we doing? We're doing good. We're just talking about how well Jimmy did today. Does anybody have any updates on LaJohntay? How do y'all think he did today? He ran about the same speed as Jimmy, but I didn't get any information on his gauntlet drill. I didn't see any footage on it. I just saw his 40-yard dash. Can somebody let me know if y'all have any insight? So yeah, that 38-inch vertical gonna carry Jimmy a long way. Yep, it's gonna carry him a long way. So somebody made a comment about Jimmy Horn Jr.'s height. That's what it was, because he measured in at 5'8" and a half. And some people were like, I thought he was 5'10, this, that, and the other. I'm like, and I said this at the Shrine Bowl. If a player is 5'8" and a half, has one of the fastest speed on the gauntlet drill, and a 38-inch vertical, he good. Because there are people out here who could be 6 feet tall and they don't have that type of vertical. So it's not going to make them 7 feet tall. It's not going to make them 8 feet tall. It just depends on the person. And to me, I think that's how Jimmy has gotten as far as he has, because of his vertical, because of his speed. And he has the ability to put it all together. That's key. Facts, Jimmy is a slot and Travis is more of an X or Z, which are outside spots. Yeah. And Travis is good. That's why I said I agree with that. Who is that? Coach Dre? I agree with that. Travis is what I said, a more impactful receiver. Yeah, we saw Travis, jump routes a couple times. We saw Travis, they put him on that side, he can lock it down. But when it comes to impact, I think if you put him out there at a receiver, he does catch any ball. My favorite play of Travis is when he goes for that ball. It's two of them. The one is when he go up in the air between almost 3 receivers and lands on the ground almost on his elbow side and still holds on to the ball. That's impact. And then the other one is when he's almost like in the end zone and he contorts his body to have his body behind the receiver, but his hands are cupped and out in front of the defender to catch the ball and hold on to it. That is impact. That's what he should be playing. If they got to pick, but more and more people are basically saying somebody has to let him play both ways. I don't know who it's going to be. I'm thinking maybe Jacksonville, because they didn't have an issue with it. So if y'all have any thoughts about where he will go, I don't know. Let me know. But I'm thinking maybe Jacksonville or New England. When it comes to height, I started to look to see, who was under 6 feet, Tyreek Hill. And the interesting thing about Tyreek Hill, and this feeds into I feel like when it comes to the first round, a lot of these players, it's like they feel like get somebody from Alabama, get somebody from Penn State, because it works for the school. Tyreek Hill, right? So I looked at his NFL combine, I guess his analysis. Did y'all know Tyreek Hill was supposed to be undrafted? They didn't think he was going to be a good player. They didn't have high hopes for him. He didn't go to Alabama. He went like to East or West Alabama. And they basically counted him out. And when he probably had the combine, when he went into it, he was an undrafted free agent. So when the draft came around, he actually was drafted in the 5th round. I'm like, wow. Okay, unless he was a 5th pick, but I think it was like the fifth round. I'm like, geez, okay. I thought he had gone higher than that. So they didn't really have high hopes for him when he came out of the combine. But over his career, he's made $119 million. So that's why you can't buy into like these scouting reports that are out here. Here it is right here. It says Tyreek Hill, West Alabama, wide receiver. His grade was only a 5.10. That's not good. 5 is at the bottom. It's like 8 is at the top. The highest grade in this year's prospect guide is Ashton Jeanty with like a 7 something. And he was higher than Travis. He was a 2016 draft. he ended up getting drafted by Kansas City in the 5th round. He was picked 26 in the 5th round, not overall. So he was way at the bottom. So basically, somewhere maybe at the combine, if he, I don't know if he, did well or not. You know, he went up a bit in the draft. So they must have saw something that they liked at the combine. So the grading scale is 8.0 is the highest. The lowest is 5. Okay, here's what it says. If you have a 5.56 or 5.59, you're a priority undrafted free agent. Okay. And then it says, if you have, and that's it, that's the lowest. What did I say he had? A 5.10. So he was just, okay, we just gonna put him on an undrafted list. Listen to what they said about him. He was 5'10", 185 pounds. Undrafted free agent with his draft projection. Oh, okay. I don't see his, they took his analysis out. It probably wasn't good no way. Because I spent a lot of time reading different people's analysis and their pros and their weaknesses. And I'm like, they had a weakness for Ashton Jeanty. It said his weakness is he played an absurd number of snaps. I'm like, that's not his fault. So I'm like, oh, okay, you got a grade on the curve with these guys. So you see what I'm saying? Tyreek Hill, undrafted projection, went 5th at number 26, which is down there all the way to the bottom in the 5th round, comes out, makes $119 million to date. And people said he was too short, I'm sure. And if he was undrafted, projected going into the combine, and they say, Tyreek is fast. I don't know what he runs for, 40. Let's say they saw his top speed. They still only bumped him up to the 5th round. They didn't have any high hopes for him, but he made it. So that's why you got to just go out there and do you. And that's what Jimmy did today, in my opinion. I do believe Jimmy will run faster at his pro day. I agree with that. Says Jimmy is a slot. Oh, okay, that's that. It says he had the bad QB throwing the balls, talking about Wester. Oh, really? But he looked good running routes. Just so bad throws. Who was the QB that was throwing to Wester? Was it the same ones that they had throwing to Jimmy? I'm assuming so. Hello, everyone. I just watched him. I love me some Jimmy Horn Jr. Yeah, he was good. Hey, Regina. It said, I think Travis goes to New England or Jacksonville. Yep, that's my prediction too. It says he has been working out great. His body has changed. Who are we talking about, Regina? Oh, I think you're talking about Jimmy. Okay, yeah, I agree with that. I hope he goes 1st round. I think he could. It just depends on the needs of who's in the 1st round. Like, I looked at the 2nd round, and I know Pittsburgh is number 52 or 53 in the 2nd round. And we already heard at the Shrine Bowl, they were interested. And we see how he could fit in their offense. Remember, the Rams, there were non-Colorado people saying Jimmy Horn Jr. will be a good fit for the Rams to open up their offense. And, they just got rid of somebody, Cooper Kupp, and they probably going to make some more changes. So it's possible. And they decided to keep Matthew Stafford. So there's that. So I hope he goes 1st round as well. It says that's why it's always a hidden jewel in late rounds. You could always find somebody with that hunger. Right. I agree with that. And people were saying Jimmy Horn Jr. is going to be the steal of the draft. That was another comment that I saw just in passing. I didn't snag it or whatever. But yeah, they think Jimmy Horn Jr. will be the steal of the draft. And, and after all of these people and watching all the receivers today, him having the top 10 speed, the first time in the gauntlet drill, which I think means more than the 40. And his 40 wasn't bad, in my opinion. you know, and he could put it all together and he made it look effortless. And he has a 38-inch vertical. I could sell it to a team. I could sell it to a team. I'm like, no, you're going to want this kid right here. And he has heart and he hungry. You can't beat that. That's somebody that's going to show up early. That's going to leave late. This is not somebody that belongs on a practice squad. If that happened, I'm going to go find a can of kerosene. This is somebody that should probably go in the first round, whether it's, toward the end or top second. He should not be there midway after the second. He should definitely be gone. So, it said, that sound good. Jimmy and also Shiloh in Atlanta definitely getting season tickets. Oh, yeah. Hey, Chad, how you doing? For sure. I'm already excited about Michael Peters Jr., but you let any one of them Colorado Buffs come to Atlanta or Nashville. I'll take the Carolina Panthers, the Jacksonville Jaguars, because 80% of the population lives within 2 hours of Atlanta. So I can get to Nashville, to the Titans, I can get to the Panthers, the Jaguars, and the Falcons. Oh, and the Saints, I have no problem. No problem. In fact, I have an announcement. I'm going live from New Orleans tomorrow. So I'll be in New Orleans tomorrow night. So when I go live, it's going to probably still be about the same time. I'm headed down to New Orleans. This is the big weekend before Mardi Gras. I'm going to the Bacchus Parade. That's the granddaddy of one of the biggest, swankiest parades out there. The Grand Marshal for Bacchus is always a celebrity. This year is Shaquille O'Neal. So he's the king of Bacchus. Today for Endymion, the parade I typically go to, the Grand Marshal was Livy Dunn, the athlete from LSU, the gymnast. So I put together a little video, y'all, so y'all can kind of see just kind of what I'm getting ready to go into. So if you ever been to New Orleans for Mardi Gras, you get it. I won't be able to be there Tuesday, obviously, because it's the middle of the week here in Atlanta. But in New Orleans, everything is closed. So I won't be there for Fat Tuesday, but I'm headed down to New Orleans at dark 30. And of course, I'll be recording. Turn your notifications on because I'm going live from Bacchus. And it'll be fun. So one of the things I want to tell y'all right fast in this video, this pertains to the New Orleans Saints. So I told y'all the other day that Kellen Moore kind of is open for a new quarterback, right? And I said the GM seems to be still gleaning towards Derek Carr. So the people in New Orleans do not like Derek Carr as their quarterback. They want him gone. They showed in a store where they had all of his jerseys. Nobody wants to buy him. They said the only person that really likes him is the guy that they fired. So in this video right here that you see, parades have floats, right? And New Orleans has the best floats out there. One of the floats they made this year, there's 3 floats that they made that are the talk of the town. One is of Dennis Allen being fired. They done put this man in a paper mache and put him on a float under a pit of fire. That's how much New Orleans does not like that man. They fired him after going 2-7 in the beginning of the season. They want him gone. They want Derek Carr gone. They want him gone so much that they done made this man a figure of him on a float. That's serious. One of the other floats is the mayor. They made her they made her a figure and they put her on the float in a very compromising looking position. And the third float, just to let you know how they really feel, was a Diddy float. So if you put Diddy up there with Dennis Allen and the mayor, then you could kind of see that wasn't a compliment. So just from New Orleans, they're going to be looking for a quarterback, I think. And you never know. I say Jalen Milroe probably could end up there. So we shall see. But New Orleans, they something else. They own one this year. That's him right there. So this is you see the fire right here? It's a pit of fire over here to the left. That's Dennis Allen, and they done punched him in his eye. And it says it right here on the float. It says Coach Allen or Coach Dennis Allen. So they made sure you know who they were taunting on this float. I have never seen anything like this in all my years of Mardi Gras, that they just that direct with it. So I just thought that was hilarious. So I just let that play. So anyway, it says, Kiel said Tom Brady went round 6. he kept a node, and who was drafted before him. Oh, he kept a note of who was drafted before him, and that was his motivation. I feel like that was Jalen Hurts' motivation too. I really do. Mr. Alabama was throwing. Oh, see, I'm telling y'all, he could go to the Browns with a second round pick, and they could trade that first round pick, or they probably think he's still gonna be there in the second round too. But I don't know what pick they have, so he might not be. He was supposed to go number 40. So if he was out there showing what I know he probably is capable of doing, like he did when he was under Nick Saban. I told y'all he was successful under Nick Saban. Okay, they didn't win the big game, but they went. And he was young at the time too. So Jalen Milroe could go to Cleveland, or he could go to New Orleans. Now, this is a connection I want y'all to think about. Jalen Hurts went to Alabama, right? And he played for Philly, right? His agent is Quinion Richardson, the guy that played for Philly. They got the same agent. Jalen Hurts, Quinion, and Jalen Milroe all have the same agent who's very familiar with Kellen Moore, who just went to the Saints. Jalen Hurts went to Alabama, played under Kellen Moore, got the same agent. Jalen Milroe went to Alabama, got the same agent. Could end up in New Orleans. See, this is what's going to help Jalen. He went down there, he throwed. He did well, right? His agent. See, I really believe a lot of them did need agents, but this young man, he needed an agent. He needed somebody to use their relationships to convince somebody to take a chance on him, or convince somebody to see beyond the talk of what took place in Alabama. He needed somebody that would know that Alabama demoted their offensive coordinator because the play calling was trash. He needs somebody like that. So everybody that, he was one of those cases. I need somebody to get their foot in the door and get next to somebody. And the person he chose, she has credibility. She has credibility. Kellen Moore is already familiar with her. He probably trusts her because she's Jalen's agent. She's Quinion's agent. I can't remember his last name, but he played for Philly. And now she's Jalen's agent. So for Jalen, that was actually a good choice. It's actually worth it for him because, in my opinion, he needed somebody to counteract all this negativity that's out there. So good job, Jalen. So yeah, Mr. Alabama was throwing. I like that. Mm-hmm. It said my Florida brother Chad. Okay. It says, oh, it's Jan's birthday. Okay. Let's see. Happy birthday, Jan. It said, you ever thought about being somebody's agent? You do a good job of convincing. I probably could, but now. I probably could. Honestly, I know I could, but that's just not my thing. Thank you for that. Oh, you back. I just realized who that was. Sing Myers, you used to hang out with us. Okay, thank you for coming back. It said, I say late first round, Regina. Oh, you talking about Jimmy Horn Jr.? I'll take that. I have to see who has the picks in the first round. Peter said, I'm going to look into those train rides you told us about. Oh, you should. You talking about to go to New Orleans for Mardi Gras? Amtrak? For sure, because I thought about it. But the timing, didn't work out for me. But it worked out for me before. And I wanted to do it for the Super Bowl. And I don't know if I told y'all, what was it? It was $29 for Essence Festival, Amtrak to New Orleans. The Super Bowl, I think it was $49. And I told y'all I really should have went. And it was funny when this opportunity came up, I was like, I don't know. I was like, I could just watch it on TV. And I said, you know what? This is an opportunity, just like last time, the Super Bowl, and I didn't get to go. So now I'm going, and my hotel is in the French Quarters. So I'm going to come back with some footage. So y'all keep me in your prayers because this is a road trip. I'm not flying. Did y'all hear about the near miss at Chicago Midway Airport? A Southwest airline flight was getting ready to touch down, and a private jet was on the perpendicular runway, and the Southwest jet had to pull back up, and then they start scolding the pilot of the private jet. I was like, what is going on? I was like, okay, I'm definitely not traveling by airplane. I'm like, I don't know how many times I have to be convinced. So yeah, definitely look into those those Amtrak fares. I think a lot of people are starting to change the way they travel. If you have the time. Was Travis watching Jimmy? I didn't see Travis. I'm not saying he wasn't there, but the camera panned to Shador because he had the biggest smile when he saw Jimmy Horn Jr.'s time. And the camera went right to Shador. But Travis could be there. It's just I didn't see him. Coach Dre said he did look good. He missed a lot of throws today. His stock may have dropped today. It wasn't good. Who are you talking about, Coach Dre? Are you talking about Milroe or are you talking about somebody else? Let me know. I saw Quinn Ewers throw. I think he overthrew a ball to Jimmy. That's what I recall. Other than that, I mean, you could see it was way overthrown. He'd had been Superman and cape up to get that one. Everything else, though, I thought was like really good. Yeah, I did. I thought it was like really good. So yeah, Jimmy's that guy. He basically is showing people, oh, we didn't know about him. They did, but they didn't know he was like that. And that's what they now understand. This guy is like that. So I hope he moves. I hope he moves up, like Regina say, late first round. For me, early second round. Just because I don't know who has the late first round picks. I actually looked into Pittsburgh intentionally because I knew that Pittsburgh was one of the teams that didn't want him to work out at the Shrine Bowl. In fact, it was said that their comments was, oh, we've seen enough. And then after today, and then he getting ready to go to Colorado Pro Day? Shoot. Man. Oh, Mr. Alabama. Oh, he didn't do good today? Oh, I hate that. I thought he did good. Well, he going to need an agent then. From what I've heard, that was not the only near miss at Midway. Oh, goodness. That was scary. I watched that. I was like listening, trying to, I don't understand all the pilot talk or whatever. And they was explaining how the runways are coded and stuff. And I don't know. They said basically what they think happened is the private jet was a flex jet. That's where you can get like fractional ownership and you rent a jet rather than buy one, right? So it's not yours. It's not your friends. It's a company called FlexJet, and celebrities use them all the time. And what it seems like is there was a new pilot on board, and then there was a more senior pilot. So when they were giving instructions, the new pilot first didn't hear the instructions at first. So he kept asking them to repeat them. Then when they kept repeating them, it's like something got lost in translation. Then the more senior captain came on and said it correctly. And then they must have let the new guy fly and he just didn't understand. And I think it was just a new pilot. But the Southwest person, the pilot, luckily he's experienced. Because, this is like right here. And he just had to go back up. Thankfully, he had time to go back up. So all you could hear him say is, this is so-and-so. So how did that happen? Of course, there was no answer. And then they told the pilot, pilot deviation, the one from FlexJet, they were like, pilot deviation, call into the tower. They were like, oh, that means he in trouble. Because he could have caused, fatalities. You don't know. Or just a lot of damage to the planes. And all the people on the plane for Southwest praised the captain for how calm he was. He told them what happened, but they weren't panicking. It was like, hey, we just gonna have to go up and go back around. So that's the kind you want. Somebody that's experienced. So yeah, I don't know. Angie Stone passed away in a car accident here in Montgomery, Alabama. I'm so hurt. When I first heard it, I was like, where was she? What was going on? I really went to Google. I said, where did this take place? And it was like Montgomery, Alabama. She was on the way back home to Atlanta. And I thought they said it was 9 people in the Sprinter van. I saw the van. Somebody recorded it because they didn't know what was going on. It was a truck driver. He just recorded the accident. And later on, he found out that was her Sprinter van. Everybody survived but her. I'm like, man, that hurts. Her daughter was the one that got the call and told, I guess, other people about it when because people didn't know who was in the van. That kind of hurt. That was painful. If you don't know, she's a popular singer, of course, but she also did the theme song to the TV show Girlfriends. That was her singing on that. She also was in some type of dispute with Universal Records. So, the conspiracy theories are starting to come out that people feel like, she accused them of stealing her publishing. And she says she should have been retired years ago. But, I don't know either way. But there are people that are, every time a singer or a rapper or somebody died, they always seem to be in some type of dispute with their record label. And it is true. So, I don't know. I don't know if y'all realize it, but the Migos, prime example. They wanted out of their label. And in fact, I think that's what was getting ready to happen. And then all of that went down in Houston. Because they have insurance on these entertainers. They have insurance. So I just feel really bad because, you leave home, you think you're going to come back home. And so y'all pray for me. I'm going to be careful, but we good, but you just never know. And I was wondering, I said, I wonder if it was too many people in that Sprinter van and it swayed. And unfortunately, when you're in a van, because this happened when I was like 8 of my girlfriends, we went to New Orleans because somebody was getting married. And we were in a van. And you could feel the difference with all of the people and their luggage. I was driving at one point. It was very eerie. It was like you gotta basically you could have no movement because it's just like an airplane. They have to evenly distribute all of the weight or it tops over. So I was wondering if that's what happened. Like maybe they were changing lanes, and when they change lanes, it just kind of, you speeding up, you hit it kind of hard. Because one thing about that Alabama, Atlanta, Georgia corridor, it's a lot of 18-wheelers. And I think they might have been on I-10. I'm not sure. But either way, it was really painful. And I did wonder if it was the weight distribution and they just kind of topped over. But the sad part is after they flipped over 3 times, they got hit by an 18-wheeler. And I was like, oh my God. But she's the only person that didn't survive. So, may she rest in peace. And I pray her family finds comfort because I know that has to be very, very disturbing. So, yeah. It said Jalen's stock drops. He overthrew a lot of passes, but it could be that he wasn't used to the receiver. Well, that's what people were saying about Pro Day versus the Combine. This is not familiar at all, which is why some people's 40-yard dash improves when they get back to their university. Their reps sometimes might improve back at the university. So a lot of that goes into it. And I'm not against the Combine because I do, Kiel pointed it out. This is helpful for people who need that exposure. I felt like Jimmy benefited from it. I felt like LaJohntay benefited from it. But I mean, honestly, there was a lot of hatred towards Shedeur. I was so happy it was over. And even though I know he's not fazed by it, it's still wrong. It's just still wrong. It's like they want him to shut up and dribble. And I need them to understand. And it's not everybody. It's just a few so-called reporters and analysts that were actually there. And not a lot. And even the pivot, Ryan Clark, he talked about it. He said, they really playing in Shedeur face, huh? Trying to force it at another group of podcasters from Fox. They said, they really trying to force Shedeur into a position where they feel like they are humbling him. See, I'm not the only person who see it. And if I'm not the only person who see it, there are people connected to the NFL and they need to do something about that. This is not how you treat prospective players. You single out one player and you find everything negative about him, whether it's true or not, and you only talk about him, but then you want to say he's not all that. Then why you keep talking about it? And I know he's not fazed by it, but it's not right. It's not right. I didn't even know Ashton Jeanty didn't work out until today because all they talked about was Shedeur not working out. The NFL needs to do something about that. This is not a shut up and dribble era. And again, fans, we're not here for it. And that's why people are speaking out. So hopefully the NFL is listening. It said LaJohntay West, the 40-yard dash was a 4.46, vertical 32, broad jump 10-1 and 10-yard split, 153. What is the 10-yard split? Does anybody know? I saw that. I didn't know what it was. It didn't refer to it as a shuttle, so I don't know. It didn't say it was a gauntlet. So if anybody has any insight, what is that? And then I want to talk about how do y'all feel about how LaJohntay did? I saw his 40-yard dash. That was it. Based on the numbers, thank you for Regina for putting them here. How do y'all feel about his vertical of 32? I think LaJohntay, they come in, they have him at 5'10". So he's Tyreek Hill's height. So he should be good because he's also fast. Anybody have any thoughts about that? Let me know. So yeah, that was actually pretty good with Jimmy, but I didn't get to see much about LaJohntay. But I do think it is very interesting that Jimmy Horn Jr.'s workout video was put together and released by the NFL. I was waiting on Bucky. I was like, I'm sure Bucky gonna have it. But yep, the NFL put it out. So it says right here, the Pittsburgh Steelers have the first pick, number 21 in the first round. Round 2, pick 52, and round 3, pick 83. They actually have 7 picks overall. In round 7, they have pick 223 from New Orleans. Then they have a pick from the Rams. Then they have a pick from Atlanta and from Washington. Speaking of Washington, did y'all hear Deebo Samuel is now a Washington Commander? Anybody have any thoughts? I think that's amazing. So let me know if y'all have any thoughts about Deebo Samuel is now a Washington Commander. Everybody's been talking about it, outside of the combine. So let me know your thoughts. So yeah, that was pretty sad about Angie Stone. Oh, 21 people in here. Thank you. Make sure I have 21 likes, guys, by the time it's over. Thank y'all for the new subs. Thank you for new members. Thank y'all for hanging out with me, riding with me. Some of y'all ride with me every day, or if not, almost every day. I appreciate it. That means a lot. And thank you for the compliments in the comments. I appreciate that as well. Very encouraging. All right, so let me know if anybody has any thoughts about LaJohntay's performance. If you have any thoughts on what teams he probably is going to go to, how his performance was received overall. Do you feel like he increased his stock? Do you think it's about the same as before? Did he do anything to damage it? I don't think so, but let me know your thoughts. If not, I might have to get his content and maybe we discuss this another day. But for sure, it seems like his 40 is really good to me. Every 10 yards, they count 2 seconds in for split times. Oh, okay. So that's what he did. Okay, so it was his number good? The 1.53? That sounds good. So it could be 12 seconds. 5 seconds towards every 10 yards that they calculate. Oh, okay. 1.2 seconds and 1.5 seconds towards every 10 yards. Okay, that's good. He went to the Commanders. That's real good. That's what I was thinking. I said they needed a running back, but they said he's a wide receiver. But doesn't he play like a dual role a little bit? Remember, Draylon Miller said he wanted to model his play at Colorado like Deebo Samuel's. So I just said Washington definitely needed a running back. When they played against Philly, they really didn't have like that strong run game. Of course, they were playing against Saquon Barkley, so everybody's not Saquon, but they needed somebody, and now they have Deebo Samuel, so maybe that'll help. Well, if there's nothing else, I guess I'm gonna get myself together so I can get out of here because we're leaving at about dark 30. So I can be in New Orleans by 3 p.m. So it's a 7-hour drive. Of course, I'll let y'all know when I make it. I'll probably just post in the comments. I still plan to go live at 10 p.m., but it will be a different setup because we'll be outdoors. So it'll just be likely my cell phone. And I probably won't be able to really see your comments, but you'll be able to see me, hear me, etc. But it'll probably be hard for me to see what's up going on the screen because it's just a cell phone. So turn your notifications on. It should be a hoot. It should be fun. And I'm staying in the French Quarter, so I'll probably try to get a lot of content together, maybe just package it up and put it on a long form video with some music or something like that, just so y'all can see how much fun it was. All right. Anything else before we get out of here? Otherwise, I'm going to pack. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. It said with Deebo Samuel, Washington has a good chance of going to the Super Bowl. Yes. I was thinking, I was like, Washington or Philly this time? Because I feel like Jalen is hungry. I'm like, he already back out there. This going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting. Now we have our guys into the mix. Cam Ward or Shedeur. Do y'all expect Cam? I expect Cam Ward and Shedeur to start wherever they go. What do y'all think about that? That I should be going out of here, but I really kind of want to know what people think. When it comes to being a starter, do you feel like both Cam and Shedeur will start in the NFL next year at whatever team they go to? Or do you think they go Michael Penix Jr., either one of them? That's what I call it. That's what I call it. Let me know your thoughts. Well, at least Michael Penix Jr. is the starter in Atlanta for sure. So that's good. So hopefully we'll have a good team. Have a safe trip. Thank you. In the combine. So for the Bucks, the combine is over. Up next is Pro Day. So that's what, April 4th. So we have about 3 weeks to get ready for Pro Day. So I guess I'll just talk to y'all later on. I'll see y'all when I get to New Orleans. Keep me in your prayers. Safe travels. Of course, I will be extra cautious because I'm going to Alabama. So I know me. I tend to think, okay, I'm going to go ahead and take it slow. Just be careful out here. So I'm going to say goodnight, everybody. This was awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Until we talk again tomorrow, 10 p.m. from New Orleans. It'll be Central Time. Don't forget, I'm in a different time zone. That's probably 9 o'clock, the typical time that I go live. I have to keep that in mind as well. Okay, y'all. I'll catch y'all later. Have a good night.